hello there, howdy partner. Today we're taking a look at, okay, I cannot do that voice. Welcome everyone. Today we're taking a look at a cowboy themed loadout. So I would say let's get right into it. On screen I'm just gonna put a couple of mood boards up that I followed to make this loadout possible, and I would say let's get right into it. But first, don't forget about the giveaway in the description below. Read the rules, and as always, now a quick word from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by SkinBaron, the ultimate marketplace for buying and selling your CS skins. SkinBaron is a German company with an excellent Trustpilot rating, trusted by thousands of players. Save up to 30% compared to the Steam market. With over 1 billion skins and easy to use filters, finding your perfect skin is a breeze. They offer multiple payment methods including credit card, Klarna and even more. And if you're selling a skin worth over 1,000 euros, you'll only pay 2% fees on it. Use my code Shifterz to support the channel and start your SkinBaron journey today. Thank you SkinBaron, and now back to the video. So as always, we're starting off with the starter pistols, and for the Glock we have two options. We have the Royal Legion and the Death Rattle. The first one has a bit of that classic theme of leather going on, and the Death Rattle just fits the rattlesnake style perfectly into the Wild West. And here, depending on what you get for the USP, I would say you have to make your choice. You either have the Cayman, which could fit with that rattlesnake theme, or you can do the business class logo again with that leather theme, and depending on what you want to go for, you pick that option for both sides. For me, I would go with the Death Rattle, and this time I would also go with the Scorpion P2000 because I'm using the P2000 right now. Then moving on to the P250, and here we have one solid choice, and that is the Sand Dune. Matches the arid theme of the Wild West and is perfect for that. Moving on to the dual Berettas, and here we have two options. The first one would be the Balance. Yes, the rose theme would fit to it. However, another good choice would be the Cartel, especially because of the color theme. And even though the red aesthetic fits, I would say I would still go with the Cartel. And we are now staying on that color theme. For the 5.7, we have the Copper Galaxy. Again, this just fits into the color aesthetics, and there's no better option in my opinion. Then for the Tech 9, we have the Snake 9. It has to go with that, since again the snake theme goes perfectly with the Wild West. And now let us move on to the Deagle, and here I would say you either go with the Fennec Fox or the Corinthian. However, the obvious choice for a cowboy theme would be to go with the Revolver. And here again you have two options. For the first one, you have the Tango. The rose theme again would fit. However, personally I would actually go with the Inlay. I really like the design of it, and it reminds me of an old handcrafted revolver that would have been used in that time. Now let us move on to the Mac 10, and here we have two options. The first one would be the Cough skin. However, the better option is the Hot Snakes. Again, with that snake theme, it just fits perfectly into the loadout. Our MP9 is giving us one good option, and that is the Rose Iron. It again works with the rose theme that I was mentioning before, and is a solid skin. For the MP7, I was struggling a bit. I looked around, and to be honest, I would say the Gunsmoke would be the best choice. However, you could also go with the UMP Bone Pile because of the theme of bones lying around in the desert, or the UMP also has a Gunsmoke variant. And since I'm personally using the UMP right now, I would go with the Gunsmoke. Then our P90 has three options. We have the Shapewood, the Desert DD Pad and the Leather, and I would say all of those are solid choices. However, personally I would go with the Leather. And again, for all of our PP enjoyers out there, the PP Bison Antique is a solid choice. It fits, I would say, into that saloon optic of the Wild West and fits the overall run and gun style of a gunslinger. Moving on to our shotguns, and here we have two options. The first one would be the XM Bone Machine, again because of that bone aesthetic in the desert. However, a good option also is the Red Python, again because of that desert snake theme. For our Max 7, I was struggling a bit. I was looking around, and I've decided to go with the Copper Coated, since I think the copper fits also into that color aesthetics and the time period. However, I would say it's not the ideal choice in a perfect world. And now we are moving on to our main assault rifles. Starting off with the Galil, we have the Sandstorm. Obviously the name fits the theme that we're going with, and the overall aesthetic also fits the color palette. However, if you want to go with something different, you could also go with the Hunting Blind to fit that snake aesthetic, that snake leather theme that we had before. For our FAMAS, I was struggling, and I would say the only decent option, or better to say half decent option, is the half sleeve. It isn't perfect. However, there isn't really anything else you could pick from the FAMAS that would fit a cowboy aesthetic. Then moving on to our M4A1S, and here I would say the golden coil. Because of that snake on it, it fits into the aesthetic and would be an overall cool skin to have in this loadout. And for its counterpart, we have two options. For the second one, you really have to open up your imaginations a bit. However, a good option would be the Desert Strike. Solid cheap skin, fits the overall aesthetic again. The name also fits the environment, I would say. However, if you want to go with the animal theme, you might want to consider the Griffin. I know I'm stretching it here a bit because of the eagle-like tendencies of the skin. It could work, however, again, I can't stress this enough. This one would be stretching it. Then for the AK, we have two options. The first one would be a more elegant one, and that would be the Inheritance. It would be something that the bad guy in a cowboy movie might want to steal. However, I would personally go with the Wasteland Rebel since it fits into the aesthetic more, I would say. Yes, the name fits a post-nuclear theme. However, the color palette and overall design would also fit perfectly into the cowboy Wild West era. And now moving on to the Orc Chameleon, a cheap red skin that you could use. When looking at the skin, it just reminds me of the 2011 animated movie Rango. You might remember it, and that is why this skin is on the list. And for our SG, we have the Old Rusty here. Just because of the name, it fits perfectly into the theme. For the Scout, we have two options. I think the ideal one would be the Death Strike, just because of the Scorpion on it. However, if that is a bit too expensive for you, you might want to go with the Big Iron. I would say it doesn't fit as well as the Death Strike. However, it is cheaper and the overall color palette would also work. Then for our AWP, we have one solid choice, and that would be the Desert Hydra. It just again works because of the name, the theme on the gun. However, because this gun is obviously so expensive, I'm gonna give you two alternatives that you could add into your loadout. And that would be the Snake Camo from the Dust Collection. It isn't anything special, however, it would work because of the name and the overall skin. Or if that is still too expensive, you could go with the AWP Ateris. It has a snake on it, however, the color palette wouldn't match. Okay, getting on now to the knife and glove combo. And here I used this picture to get a reference on what I would like to have as a knife, and I've decided to either go with the classic knife, the survival knife, or the paracord knife. Here most likely you could go with a safari mesh or a vanilla knife, since I think personally the other knives are too flashy and don't really match the theme. And for the gloves, I again looked up some leather gloves and I used keywords like Western look, and this was an image that I gotten, and that is why I've chosen the driver gloves overtake as the optimal choice. And for our agent, you could go with the Lieutenant Rex Kirkley, since the hat would most likely fit. However, there isn't really a good Western agent out there. So that was the cowboy loadout. Let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you have any suggestions of a skin that I've missed, leave it down in the comments below. Thank you again for watching. Don't forget to check out the sponsor of today's video. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. And I will see you guys on the next one.